In the absolutely massive world of biotech, we're talking trillions of dollars, right? The most valuable discoveries aren't always made in a lab. Sometimes the biggest breakthroughs are the people who make them. But what happens when those people just walk out the door? Well, that's the talent war we're digging into today.
So, let me ask you this. When you look at a big biotech company, what do you think is its single most valuable asset? Is it that massive portfolio of patents they own? Or maybe all those millions they've poured into their fancy, state-of-the-art labs?
Nope, it's the people, the brilliant minds, the innovators, the scientists. They are the one asset that, at the end of every single day, can get up and walk right out the door. And in this industry, that's a massive existential risk.
And that risk, it actually has a name, the biotech brain drain. In an industry where a single project can be worth billions, losing one key employee isn't just some HR problem. It can be a full-on catastrophic event for a company's future.
So why is it so critical here? Because this industry relies entirely on a very specific, highly skilled workforce. These are the people developing new drugs, running all the clinical trials, and navigating those super complex government regulations. Without them, the entire engine of innovation, it just grinds to a halt. Okay, so if your people are your most valuable asset, how on earth do you protect them? I mean, you can't exactly lock them in a vault, right? You need a game plan. You need what's called a retention playbook.
The smartest companies in this space aren't just reacting when someone important quits. No way, they're playing offense. They have a proactive, deliberate strategy that's designed to make their top talent want to stay.
And a winning strategy is really built on a few key pillars. It's about creating a culture of growth. Think about mentorship programs that pair junior scientists with seasoned veterans, or clear career paths that show employees exactly how they can advance. And of course, in biotech, competitive incentives are absolutely huge. We're talking significant stock options or research grants that give people a real stake in the company's success.
But look, having a great playbook is one thing. How do you actually know if you're winning the game? That's where the numbers come in. You have to measure the leaky bucket, so to speak, to see just how much talent you're losing.
And the key metric here is the employee turnover rate. It's simple, really. It's the percentage of your team that leaves over a set period of time. This number is the ultimate scoreboard. It tells you, in plain black and white, whether your retention strategy is actually working.
But not all turnover is created equal. When an employee leaves, the big question is, did they choose to go or did the company ask them to? The answer tells you a lot. High voluntary turnover can be a huge red flag about company culture, while high involuntary turnover might point to problems with hiring or even management.
And it's not enough to just look at one big number. Smart companies slice and dice this data. They track turnover across these key groups because, let's be honest, losing a senior research scientist who holds the key to your next blockbuster drug is a very different problem than losing a junior lab assistant. Now, just take a look at this sample data on the screen. See that trend? Voluntary turnover is highest among the professionals, the very scientists and researchers who are the lifeblood of R&D. For any biotech firm, a chart that looks like this is a massive red flag.
So we have the playbook, and we have the scoreboard. But who's actually in the stands watching this game? Well, as it turns out, a lot of very important people are paying extremely close attention to these numbers.
This isn't just some report that sits on a desk in HR. There are at least 3 key external groups for whom these numbers are absolutely vital. We're talking investors, accountants, and auditors.
From an investor's perspective, high turnover is like a 5-alarm fire. It's a sign that the company is bleeding its most valuable asset, its intellectual capital, and that directly threatens future innovation and shareholder value.
For the accountants, it's all about the cold, hard cash. Every time a skilled employee walks out that door, it costs a small fortune to find, hire, and train their replacement. That's a direct and painful hit to the company's bottom line. And then you've got the auditors. Think of them as the referees, making sure the company is playing by the rules. They come in to verify that the retention strategies are real and that the turnover numbers being reported are accurate. They keep everyone honest. So we've looked at the playbook, the metrics, and the stakeholders. But what does it all really mean? How do we use all this to decode a company's future? It's because these talent metrics are so much more than just numbers on a page. They are a vital sign. They're like taking a company's pulse. They provide a clear, unfiltered window into its internal health, its culture, and most importantly, its potential for future success. So I'll leave you with this thought. The next time you're looking at a company, whether as an investor, an employee, or just an observer,
Are you only going to ask about its pipeline of new products? Or will you also ask about its pipeline of people? Because in the world of biotech, one is impossible without the other. And that's the bottom line.